Hello, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to April. I'm filming this in March obviously, but I will be posting this on the 1st of April, not a joke. This will be my April TBR. These are my April reading plans because I've been in a sort of a mood reading period, mood in the last week or so, and I'm picking up something and I've not been feeling a lot of the books I've started. So this is more of a pile of possibilities, but there's two main things that I would like to sort of follow. So first, I am doing a books for bowel cancer readathon hosted by Charlie Brooke Reads, and I'm very excited to be participating in that and to also help with the awareness of it. Yeah, I'll link Charlie's videos below so you can go and check out the announcement and like why she's doing this. And yeah, you can support as well if you want. And so basically she started it as there are 5 symptoms to look out for, so it's awareness, and then the 5 symptoms are linked to 5 prompts. So then you can link to the different books you'd like to read. And I think it's important. I had a mini scare last year. Something happened, I wasn't sure. Talk to my GP, which sometimes it's like if you're lucky enough to have a GP that's very easily accessible. I know there's been a lot of issues around the UK about that, but yeah, was able to go and get tested and do some different things, and yeah, was in the clear after that. But I think it's important to listen to your body and to keep an eye out for symptoms, not too intensely. I can definitely have a little bit of health anxiety, so but sometimes it's just best to call and talk to someone to make sure that you're keeping an eye on your body. Your body is important. So yeah. So the 5 prompts are, let's go through and let's see the books that I've picked. The first symptom is bleeding from your bottom, obviously, or blood in your poop. And so the prompt with that actually was a book that has red on the cover. So yeah, anyway, I picked Agent So by Claire Mully. This is one of the books that's shortlisted for the Women's Best Nonfiction. It is quite big, so I was like, oh, I don't think I would have bothered to read it if it wasn't shortlisted, but I want to read the shortlist. So this is what's next. I've just started it and like 10 pages in or something. Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying it. It's really well written up to now. So this will be sort of my main physical book of the month. Yeah. So it fits red. It also fits the 3rd prompt, and it's unfortunate because I didn't want to like have the same book for multiple prompts, but it's the 3rd symptom is a change in how often you poo or regularly have diarrhea, constipation, that kind of symptoms. And the prompt with that is to pick a book that's different from your norm. Again, it's sort of like a change in your habit, and for that to read different genres in the booktube world. And I was sort of looking for a different book, but I really struggled because I read in so many different genres. I read in audiobook, ebook, physical form. Like I'm just, yeah, all over the place really. And I enjoy a bit of everything. And I thought actually this is a bit out of my comfort zone. I'm not a huge fan of books about the war and also biographies, especially I usually read biographies of people that I potentially know or I'm interested in and I've never heard of this person. So I feel like this book is actually taking me out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I decided to actually, not think about it too hard. This is a change of habits. I'm adding it here, and it's also red, so it fits both prompts. And we're going to go back to prompt number 2, of course. We don't skip over that. And it is losing weight. So if you've lost weight and you're not sure why, so it's like a really usually it's quite a big weight loss as well, like one that you see. That's really important to actually be on the lookout for, something that's like unusual. And for that, the prompt is to read a book below 400 pages with fewer than 400 pages, which is actually not that difficult because there's a lot of short books. But I have picked, I've just started Universality by Natasha Brown, and that's quite a short book. I want to say it has like 150, 160 pages, but yeah, I'm enjoying it up to now. Symptom number 4 is feeling tired all the time, but you aren't sure why. And yeah, it's just like one of these things that you have to look out for, which sometimes I want to say is difficult in the UK because the winter, the lack of vitamin D, you know what I mean? It's a difficult one. Or if you have your period, stuff like that, there's a lot, I think, to have to consider, but still, you know, if it doesn't get better. And with this, the prompt is sort of a self-care situation. So it's actually to do something to treat yourself. And I think one of the things was actually a long soak in the bath. And it reminded me that we installed a bath in our bathroom when we renovated it last summer, and I still haven't taken a bath. How ridiculous is that? It's really absurd. So I thought, you know, to celebrate this April thing, self-care, and have this moment, I will be taking a bath. And also we've installed this sort of smart mirror that has Bluetooth, so I could put a little audiobook on and have a relax in the bath. And we have a lovely skylight above the bath as well, so I can maybe even one evening, you know, if it's a clear evening or something, look out for the sky, the stars or something. So yeah. And finally, the fifth symptom is a pain or lump in your tummy, and that's definitely something they check if you've had any worries. When I went to the GP, like, they just check your tummy to make sure like there's nothing like abnormal that they can feel. And the prompt for that is a book that you've been avoiding or that you want to revisit. So again, linking it to the Women's Prize a little bit, because that's a lot of my reading at the moment. I've been reading Outland by Jenny Fagan, and I really want to finish it. And even though it wasn't shortlisted to a lot of people's, you know, disagreement, I'm actually really struggling with it. And I think it's because it's so poignant and sad. It's her memoir, growing up in care. She's writing it like she's that age, like she's going through it. She's like, I'm feeling this and they're doing this to me and they do, and I'm just like, it's so, obviously it's real because it's real, but it's because it's in the voice of that. It's not just retelling with like a bit of that space and distance. It's really like, it's like almost like you're listening to a child tell you the story, and it's so heartbreaking. So I'm actually really struggling to force myself to finish it. So I think I'll put it here because I do want to finish it. I have the audiobook from my library. I think I have another 2 weeks with it, so slowly kind of want to, it's not one that you kind of bash through in one go, I think. So yeah, so that'll be the one. And I guess I've linked it to all of this Women's Prize, but this is an important thing that I'm doing at the moment. I'm reading through some of the books from the non-fiction list. There's obviously Outland from the long list that I would like to finish. There's also Sister-in-Law that I wanted to read, even though they've both not been shortlisted. And the other one from the shortlist is What the Wild Sea Can Be, The Future of the World's Ocean by Helen Scales. And I have an e-book for that. I might keep it for May though, because it's actually not that urgent. Like, I'd like to read it before the winner announcement in June. So I think I can read that in May maybe. So otherwise, in April, yeah, like I said, this one for nonfiction. For fiction, the more I've been trying a couple different books, and I think it's also maybe my mood at the moment of mood reading and all of that. I'm not feeling attachment to a lot of books that I'm starting. So at the moment, my feeling is that I'm not desperate to get through all of the books on the fiction list either, and I'm struggling to get my hands on lots of them. So I think the main one I'd like to read is The Dream Hotel by Leila Lalami. I have an arc actually for that, an ebook arc. So yeah, I'd like to read that in April. Otherwise, I mean, they're announcing the shortlist this week, so I think this may direct my reading. So I'll see what they announce, and I'll see sort of what my thoughts were on some of the books on the long list and what I would like to maybe read, and then I'll try to read the shortlist, but there's a lot more thoughts on that. I will come back to you on that. On Wednesday, I'm going to share my shortlist predictions, and then I'll just react to the shortlist announcement. Yes. So we'll get back and chat about that at that point. And also I'll be joining, chatting the plod-along, like Charlie and Gemma will be talking about it in the live video on Wednesday evening. So I'll join the conversation there for sure, because I love to see what people thought. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and Hazy back. Bye.